We have the projection. Another pickup for the Democrats. See that projection. District defeating Maria Elvira Somerset. Bill Captain, member Secretary of Health and Human Services, will not forget the president of the University of Miami. Donna Shalala will take this seat. It's getting out of Ross Langston's seat, the Republican who had served in this district for many, many years. She retired. This is a pickup. This is a pickup for the Democrats. As a result, Democrats must not pick up 21 more Republican seats in order to become the majority without losing any of their own. This is a significant win for the Democrats in the Miami area of Florida right now. So they need 21 right now. How many are they needing, John, as we see this pickup for the Democrats in Florida?
They're leading in 15 Republican seats. Republicans are leading in 2 Democratic seats. I just want to emphasize some of these districts. One of them is right here in the middle of Oklahoma. The Democrats are not expecting to pick up the seats. So we're watching the results of the Republican states. So some of these results, some of this in Texas, we saw the Republicans leading back to the Democrats. So let's just be careful as we do. Just want to see the results working. And if you look at it, they were A and Democrats, they just looked, they thought they were going to be very surprised after either way. So we'll keep an eye on that sheet and we'll see if the Democrats can pick that up. That could be as again we mentioned, Republicans right now leading from Jim Cooper's district, long-time House member from Tennessee, but pretty low vote count. So we have to see how that one plays out. We'll come back and so you're looking at Democratic opportunities now. So you keep building, again, the Kentucky race where they're leading, they're no longer leading. It's one of the Missouri races where they're leading, they're no longer leading. So the bigger list has been winnowed down a bit, at least as we start looking through these races. But we do have plenty of opportunities. Here's why. In Ohio, horizontal. Again, this was on our list of races for a while. 3% majority, they're still in the race to go. Remember, the race was only out here, second place was on as well. 3% difference. There's one keeping an eye out there. We come back in. And the polls close at 8 o'clock. Parties for the Democrats. In New Jersey, this is when we come back to here. Then we'll hear some
sorry, here.
Again, this will be a surprise for people.
Dennis, you've got 3 races in the Senate.
Right, well, we're checking in on 4 battlegrounds in the Senate, starting with Texas. This is something that in Texas. It's the same story for Tennessee. This is an open Republican seat. Democrats are hoping to take back right now. Republican is ahead of significant 66% of the vote will change. The Democratic president is behind. Indiana, Mike Braun, the Republican challenger, is ahead in this race. 55.6% he has enough to the vote. Joe Donnelly, the incumbent Democrat, only 40.3%. This again is Trump country, but a Democrat there. Republicans are trying to take it back. Same story in Florida. The Republican challenger is ahead, but it is still very, very close. 50.2% of the vote for Rick Scott. The Democratic incumbent, third-term incumbent, Bill Nelson, is trailing at 49.8%. 91% of the vote in. You're going to watch it all night long.
candidate, my candidate, our favorite 9th District candidate, Anthony Flacc.
Just think if I won.
You will!
So grateful to all of you for coming out tonight. Obviously, there's a profound disappointment that we have here in this room in the 9th District, and maybe more broadly in the country. That still waits to be seen. But I spoke with my staff just a few minutes ago, and what I said to them really goes to all of you, to the leaders of our local volunteer core groups all across this district, to the Democratic committees, and to volunteers who weren't really part of any particular structure but just worked and worked and worked. To all of the folks who gave so much that allowed us to raise a tremendous amount of money, even though we did it in a grassroots people way. So many different people gave large chunks of their lives to this campaign. So the first thing I want to say is that I couldn't be happier, truly, I couldn't be more pleased and more proud of the collective effort of what we've done. So thank you so much for that. As best as I can tell, we outdid our opponent, Mr. Griffith, whom I called a few minutes ago, in virtually every respect of this campaign. We did 100 town halls, he didn't do any. We had a tremendously strong, people-powered canvassing game where we were not only canvassing in the towns and cities, but in rural communities in Giles County and Scott County and Lee County. We had nothing short of a flood of letters to the editor that spoke, that lifted up my campaign, I'll say, compared to those that did so for him. We had a historic non-endorsement by the Bristol Herald Courier. We even had a major advantage in TV ads, where an upstart challenger usually doesn't. We were on TV much longer, with a stronger presence, with better ads. So I guess the question for us collectively is, if we pretty close to did everything right, but we did not come close to winning, and that's the reality. What do we do going forward? For me, I'll be honest with you. Don't count on me to throw my hat in 2020. I've been a farmer and small business person for a good long time. It's quite a bit of work and quite a bit of sacrifice, whatever, in a modest kind of way. to do this, and that's not my plan. So my thinking right now is, how do we take this collective energy, for sure, but energy, you know, the nature of energy is it just sort of bounces around. What we've had is harnessed energy. We've had people working together in Russell County, in Gracie, in Salem, in his hometown, over to Lee County, throughout Bradford and Blacksburg, and here in Washington County. So if harnessing our energy and enthusiasm and outdoing the incumbent in all of those ways didn't do the trick, I don't know what else to conclude. There's really two choices. One is that a person who asks to be the representative based on being a working person with progressive values that would help working people, that would lift up the vulnerable, that would protect those who are suffering, is not the right fit for the 9th District. And I just can't believe that in my heart or in my mind. From all the conversations that I've had over these last 12 months, from all the things I've seen, from all the people that have reached out to us, I just can't believe that. So I have to think that some combination of habit, fear, and calling out the worst in ours, because let's be honest, the worst can be pulled out of all of us. I have to think that that's why we didn't prevail. And so it seems like the strategy going forward is to find good candidates at the local, state, and federal level, to support them, to run grassroots campaigns. Hopefully, one of the conclusions from this effort will not be that a grassroots, people-powered campaign that really connects directly with thousands of people is not worth the bother, because I just don't believe that. I have to think that what we've done is we've begun to build a foundation that will eventually lead to transformation of our society, where we bring out the best in each other and not the worst in each other. And so to do that, whether you are involved in the effort in Wise County, Dickinson County, whether you were over in Independence, in Carroll County and Patrick, whether you were up along the I-81 corridor, there are groups of people, substantial groups of people, who not only came together for a few days or a few weeks or even a couple of months, but have been working together for months. I guess it's up to us now to decide, are we going to hold on to hope for our counties and our communities, which struggle in so many ways? Are we going to hold on to hope for Southwest Virginia and neighboring areas like East Tennessee and Southern West Virginia and Eastern Kentucky? Are we going to hold on to hope for this country, that we can solve our problems, we can build real prosperity for everyday people? And we're going to do it in a way by bringing out the best, by collaborating, by solving our problems in a practical way. If we're going to do that, then our job starting tomorrow, maybe after a little heavy drinking and a hangover, our job tomorrow is to come back together and figure out what we did right in this campaign, what we could have done different, and how do we build on thousands of people in Southwest Virginia who have worked together like dogs, who have given their lives to build a better future right here and across this country. I, for one, am at least committed to giving back to all of you who have given so very much to me and to Lori. I'm committed. I'm committed to sitting down a few times, talking it through, figuring it out, and developing a plan and strategy. Because if we didn't win in the voting booth, and we sure didn't this time, that doesn't mean we can't win in other ways. That doesn't mean we can't win in the voting booths in the future. And don't forget that as utterly critical as elections are, and we know it more so now than ever in our lifetimes, it's also not the only way that we achieve change. It's not the only way that we transform society. It's not the only way that we change the viewpoints, the minds, and the hearts of our neighbors. There's many ways to do that. In the streets, in the media, and neighbor to neighbor. I don't know about you, but I got to hold on to hope that we've built enough here to build on. Maybe it'll take 2 years, maybe it'll take 4 years, but let's not give up on the 9th District. Let's not give up on this democracy. Let's keep fighting. Let's build on every bit of the foundation we've built here and still commit ourselves to a better world, because the alternative is not good. We can do it together. We can do it together. People in this country, from the civil rights fighters of the 50s and 60s, as well as people in other countries like the folks who bounced back from genocide in Rwanda, people have been through worse. People have had their butts kicked worse. They've bounced back. They've built better communities and better societies. We don't have any other alternative. I hope you'll work with me a little in that fight going forward. And again, just thank you so much for all that you've given.
Thank you. Thank you.